John, did you see Dana's comments on Saturday?
Huh?
Did you see Dana's comments on Saturday?
Dana's comments? No, I did not.
What do you think about DC saying he would have already fought Tom?
I don't think much about it, but I really do want to fight Tom Aspinall. I just want to meet him here at Dirty Boxing.
So he has to come to a Dirty Boxing event for him to get the fight?
No, we'll fight here at Dirty Boxing.
You'll fight at Dirty Boxing. I like that. All right, John.
Finally, the wait is over as the fight between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall is here, according to Jon Jones himself. On the other hand, Tom Aspinall said he could not let someone say they would beat him without trying to fight them. He explained that if he lost, at least he would know he gave his best. Tom also mentioned that there is a lot of politics at the top level of the UFC, and many things are out of his control, so there is not much he can do about it.
The fact he's not stepping up and fighting, yet he's let the whole MMA fan base down. I couldn't have somebody else saying that they're going to beat me and not at least fight them. And then if I lose, at least I tried my best. There's a lot of politics in there in the UFC at the top levels, and it's just like out of my hands, so there's nothing I can really do about it.
Moreover, Chael Sonnen said he has never seen a fight that fans wanted, which was then completely denied. He compared it to chasing a girl in school who keeps saying no until you lose interest. He said the fight between Aspinall and Jones is not as big now as it was 3 months ago, and even hotter 5 months ago. However, he believes the fight could still happen, maybe through one press conference or an Instagram live from Dana White.
Guys, I have never seen a fight that we wanted that we've then been denied. No different than the girl at school that you're chasing and she's telling you no. Lose steam. This fight is a smaller fight now than it was 3 months ago. Aspinall versus Jones, which by the way, I don't maintain for that it could be resurrected one press conference or one Instagram live by Dana. I'm just sharing for you right now. Jones and Aspinall was not only hotter 3 months ago, it was hotter than that 5 months ago. And it is coming to an almost crawl.
However, Jon Jones has finally accepted the fight against Tom Aspinall. After months of fans calling for the matchup and growing tension between the two fighters, Jones made it clear that he is ready to face Aspinall. He confirmed that he wants the fight to happen and is willing to step in, showing that he is no longer avoiding the challenge.
John, did you see Dana's comments on Saturday?
Huh?
Did you see Dana's comments on Saturday?
Dana's comments? No, I did not.
What do you think about DC saying he would have already fought Tom?
I don't think much about it, but I really do want to fight Tom Aspinall. I just want to meet him here at Dirty Boxing.
So he has to come to a Dirty Boxing event for him to get the fight?
No, we'll fight here at Dirty Boxing.
You'll fight at Dirty Boxing. I like that. All right, John.
Moreover, YouTuber Sneeko and Brendan Schaub questioned why Jon Jones still has not fought Tom Aspinall. They said the age gap between them is small and not a real reason to avoid the fight. Sneeko pointed out that Jones fought older fighters like Cormier and Miocic, so he should be willing to fight Aspinall now. They agreed that if Jones refuses to face the top contender, he should give up the belt instead of holding up the division.
We should see Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall. Why is it not happening? All these missed matchups.
Well, Jon Jones recently talking about fighting.
Why is he not fighting Aspinall? Like, that doesn't make sense. I love Jon Jones. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but like, he's saying that he's a lot. Oh, that are different generations. Dude, you're 37, he's 32. He fought DC when he was like early 20s. DC was almost 40. Jon Jones fought Stipe. Stipe was like 42 years old. And Jon Jones was 36. This is a matchup that should happen. Tom Aspinall's the #1 challenger. Jon Jones is still carrying the belt with the challenger waiting right now, and for no reason they're not fighting. We need to see more of these fights instead of seeing people like sit on the belt forever, holding up the division.
It was like the person that was sort of, yo, I want to fight you for the longest, and he's like, I don't need to fight you.
So then give up the belt.
I think he said
So why is he still has the belt?
I think he tweeted recently, like, I don't give a, he'll strip me. Like, I don't think he cares.
My point is they should be forced to fight the top contenders or just get rid of your belt. Don't hold everybody else up in the division.
I see what you're saying.
Aspinall's waiting. There's no reason why, like, just because he doesn't feel like fighting the top contender, then you're not the real champ.
Gable Steveson said that whether Jon Jones is finished or plans to fight again is something only Jon can answer. He explained that Jon will do whatever he wants and will do it to the best of his ability. When asked who he would prefer Jones to fight next, whether it be Francis Ngannou or Tom Aspinall, Gable said he would rather let Jon decide for himself. He made it clear that Jon is not backing out of anything and will choose his next move when he is ready.
Last one as well, obviously we talked about Jon being in the gym and everything. Is he done? Is he finished, or is he going to do one more?
I'm not sure. That might be a question you have to ask John.
I did. Well, you know what? You know how he is. But if you had the book, would you rather Francis or Tom for him?
I would rather have John do what John wants to do.
Right.
And if that's Tom, and it's Tom. If it's Francis, then it's Francis. If it's me, then it's me.
Yeah.
But,
and it's definitely, he's not ducking, right?
No, he's not ducking. But whatever John wants to do, he will do, and he'll do it to the best of his abilities.
Thank you very much, man.
However, Daniel Cormier made his opinion clear about the situation. He explained that holding the championship comes with responsibility, especially when a top contender like Tom Aspinall is waiting for his chance. From Cormier's perspective, Jon Jones is not showing the same fearless attitude that made him famous. He added that during his own career, he would not have delayed such an important fight. Cormier said the thrill of facing a serious threat is what drives a real fighter, and Jones not stepping forward feels wrong to him.
Jon Jones will get to retire from fighting. But if he doesn't fight this guy, then that's just him quitting. There's one real fight for him, and he's not so old and washed up that he can't take it. So that's how I feel about that. We fought them all. I can tell you guys on good authority, if I was still fighting today and I was still the heavyweight champion and Tom Aspinall was the #1 contender, I would have already fought him. 1,000%. The mindset that I carried through my fight career, knowing how dangerous, it would have done nothing but excite me. To see someone standing across the octagon that could potentially beat me or knock my ass out. That would have made me train harder, smarter, and be more prepared than I ever could have been. That's what that would have done to me. What it's doing to Jon Jones is very disturbing, and it's very hard for me to understand, because in my mind, this guy's a fighter, because I've seen him do it time and time again. I don't know. It's very, very, it's a very weird situation going on with this Jones thing.
Cormier also talked about how the delay in this fight is causing a lot of confusion. Even though Jones has already built an impressive career, Cormier believes this kind of behavior does not reflect a real champion. He said that instead of making things more uncertain, Jones should focus on bringing both titles together. Beating Aspinall would silence critics and add another big win to his name. But according to Cormier, the way things are right now is the exact opposite of what fans expect from someone with Jon Jones's history.
The right thing is to go fight this kid. And if you beat him, which is a real thing and a real likely scenario, you can then stick it to everybody like you've done on so many different occasions and tell them about it. Nothing feels better to a guy like Jon Jones to be able to beat the guy that you thought was going to get him, and then him going, what did I say to you? It's sweeter than any title or anything else you can give this man. But he's got to be willing to take that chance to go and fight this dude. Hey, could Tom Aspinall put him out? Absolutely. Tom Aspinall could put him out. He could shut his lights out. Because guess what? You can hit Jon Jones. He can be hit. But he's tough. And he has a great chin. He can be hit, though. And if he gets hit by that dude, a big guy like that who's fast, Tom could put him out right away. That's a real possibility. But there's also a possibility that Jones takes him deep into a fight that he's never, in a place where he's never been before, where Jones has lived. Jones has lived in those places, and he could drown Tom Aspinall. But we'll never know if this dude don't just fight or quit. Or quit. That's the truth. Not everybody gets to retire.
Moreover, Rampage Jackson shared that Jon Jones appears more concerned with building his legacy and earning huge paydays than simply fighting. He said he understands why Jones wants big money, but noted that fighters from his era did not worry about rankings or legacies because they just wanted to fight and never said no to a challenge. Rampage feels that modern fighters act more like athletes than real fighters. He believes Jones will likely retire unless Dana White offers him something massive like $35 million to face Tom Aspinall. In Rampage's view, the fight probably will not happen.
Hey Rampage. How do you feel about Jon not defending his belt? Why is he so entitled?
I don't give a about Jon. no, but he more worried about his legacy than just being a fighter. And that motherfucker holding out for a whole lot of money. I can't blame him for that part, holding out for a whole lot of money, but You know what I'm saying? Back in my day in fight, we didn't give a fuck about no legacy, like what ranking and shit you is. We like to fight. We love to fight. These new age fighters, they're athletes. They're not, a lot of them not fighters and hard. You know what I'm saying? You know, we fight and we never turn down a fight. We didn't hold out like that. So that's a whole nother shit.
You know, Jones Aspinall doesn't happen.
I don't think. I think John Jones is going to retire unless Dana ups like 35 million or something like that.
What?
Michael Bisping shared a more hopeful take on the situation. He suggested that the UFC might be staying quiet on purpose to create excitement. For a fight as big as this one, Bisping thinks there could be a detailed plan behind the scenes, including press events and major announcements to make it special. He believes the delay might be part of a larger strategy to surprise fans with a big reveal at the perfect moment.
Now, of course, this is one of the most highly anticipated fights in all of UFC history. And you can't just announce it, oh, the fight's gonna happen. No.
That's stupid.
Fights of this magnitude, the UFC want to do a proper job. They want to announce it in a spectacular fashion. They want to have a press conference. They want the world's media there. They don't want someone on YouTube or whatever or on the phone just going, yeah, the fight's happening, right? Even when I was fighting my fights, I wasn't allowed to announce them. They wanted to announce them, as I say, in the proper way to make sure that all the world's media is there and it gets all the coverage that it deserves. This is the kind of fight that, of course, deserves that kind of attention. This is a fight the world are crying out for, and this is a fight that it seems like we are going to see.
I told you guys already, we'll get Aspinall versus Jones done. The heavyweight fight will happen. Just relax. I'll announce that soon.
Francis Ngannou spoke about how negotiations in MMA can be misleading, where people say a fighter is scared when the truth is that it is just business. He explained that Jon Jones holds the stronger position because Tom Aspinall needs the fight more than Jones does. According to Francis, the main reason for Jones to take the fight would be money, while for Aspinall, winning would secure his place at the top of the division. In the end, it depends on what each fighter stands to gain from the matchup.
This explains why Jon Jones is ducking Tom Aspinall.
Does that confuse you why John doesn't want Aspinall?
They use that in the negotiation to say, oh no, he doesn't want to fight this guy, he's scared, and then that's how the machine works. And he's in the position to claim what he wants. As he said, Aspinall need that fight, I don't need it. And when you look at it, pretty much true. There's nothing that he's going to make winning that fight if it's not money. But for Aspinall, which is someone coming and trying to cement his way in the division, that will be everything.
Martin Tybura offered a different view, saying the delay in confirming the fight is not because of fear or doubt, but because of a planned approach. He believes the UFC and both fighters are stretching out the talks on purpose to build more excitement and improve their chances of getting better deals. Tybura thinks this slow buildup is designed to raise fan interest and make sure the fight reaches its highest value before anything is officially announced.
It's crazy to think what this guy is capable of and how quick that was, and where is the roof? That's the only question. Who can stop him right now? I cannot tell. I know, Jon Jones in his prime time maybe, but now he's might be a little bit older than, the skills might be not there. So I don't know. It's crazy where he's going to.
However, Rico Verhoeven praised Tom Aspinall as a monster in both striking and grappling. He said Jon Jones has never gone up against someone with striking skills like Tom's. Rico even compared Tom's stand-up game to his own and said Tom could easily compete at a high level in kickboxing. With full confidence, Rico stated that Tom would completely dominate Jon Jones and that Jones would not be able to handle him in a fight.
There's one guy who could mimic a Jon Jones on the feet. It's Rico Verhoeven.
He's gonna wipe the floor. He's gonna wipe the floor with Jon Jones.
You believe
Jon Jones 100%. Doesn't have a chance versus Tom Aspinall. Mark my words. Tom Aspinall is a freaking monster.
I love it.
On his feet and on the ground. So, and I truly believe that Jon Jones has never faced somebody that is that good on his feet. On the ground, he's faced some guys that are pretty good, but on his feet, I think Tom is, he would even do good in the kickboxing ring. He would be a top competitor to fight me as well.
Moreover, Cain Velasquez gave his thoughts on Tom Aspinall's style, highlighting how Tom constantly moves forward and throws strikes with pressure. Cain believes Jon Jones has already studied this part of Tom's game. He said Jon is known for being detailed in his fight preparation, always analyzing every part of his opponent's skills. Because of that, Cain thinks Jones will be able to stop Tom's approach and handle the fight in a smart way. He does not believe Aspinall has what it takes to beat Jon Jones.
So me just watching him, I kind of see his pattern a little bit, and his striking, the way he comes in and strikes. I think Jon sees it too.
Okay.
So I think with that, just because again, he studies, man. He does his homework. You know, he's a master at this. He analyzes things. He studies you over and over again. I think just for that reason, he's gonna know what to do. So I don't think he beats Jon. No.
Cain also talked about how all fighters have habits, and some can hide them better than others. He said when Tom pushes forward and attacks, his movements can become easier to read. According to Cain, the key is to mix things up with feints, but Tom often puts everything into his strikes without much disguise. Even though this style has helped Tom win big fights, Cain feels that Jones will notice these patterns and take advantage of them to win.
Everybody has a pattern, right?
Okay.
Everybody has a fight pattern.
Yeah.
And then some people disguise it better than others. The simple fact is the way Tom, the way that he comes in and fights, he doesn't have a pattern that's somewhat easier to find when he comes in and strikes. And I think you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of things come with that. It's disguising your pattern. It's, you know, throwing fakes here and there before. But when he comes to attacks, he comes in and attacks. It's 100% full go. You know, he comes in, glides in, lunges in, and does his attack. Again, not that it's not effective. It is. You know, he's done great things with it. I mean, look where he's at now. Not taking anything away from him. No, he is. But I think with the type of guy that Jon Jones is, I think he studies him and he beats him because of that.
Cain ended by showing respect for Tom Aspinall. He called Tom a great fighter who earned his position by beating strong opponents. He praised Tom's size, speed, striking, and power, saying they are all very impressive. Cain said the most important part of a fight is how the two fighters match up in style, and that is what makes fights interesting. He finished by saying he truly respects what Tom is doing in his career.
What he's been doing, great, obviously, you know, champion of the world, amazing, you know, he's beaten some tough guys to get there. I see what you're saying as far as like the body type, the movement, the speed, you know, the striking, the strength that he has. So it's great, man. Just great stuff. And you know, for me, it's obviously it's the matchups. You know, like the matchups was what makes everything interesting. So I think it's great what he's doing.
UFC welterweight champion Bilal Muhammad shared that he sees Tom Aspinall as possibly the biggest test Jon Jones has ever faced, pointing to Tom's strength and quickness as signs of the new wave of heavyweights. Although he believes Jones could still win, Bilal thinks the fight only makes sense if the money is right. He expects Dana White to push for it because of how much it could earn, but also said Jones might choose to fight Alex Pereira instead unless he is offered between $30 to $50 million.
If I'm Jon Jones, like a lot of people consider him to go the best fighter ever do it. The next hungry lion is Aspinall. It's probably the toughest fight that he'll have. Like this guy's the next generation. He's a lot stronger, a lot faster. But I think Jon Jones is good enough to beat him. But it's like it has to be worth it. The fans are fickle, right? You lose one fight, they're gonna, he's right? They just care about your last win or your last loss. I think Dana White and them will end up making it. Dana White's a smart businessman. He knows how much money that fight would make. If I'm Jon Jones, you've already done everything in the sport. It's not worth it unless it's that $30 million, $50 million payday. If I'm Jon Jones, I'm picking out Pereira first.
Paddy Pimblett shared that he is a big supporter of Tom Aspinall and thinks he is one of the coolest people in the sport. Still, even with Jon Jones getting older, Paddy said he cannot pick against him. He believes Jones has the smartest fighting mind in MMA history and always shows up with the perfect plan. While he hopes to see Tom win, Paddy admitted he just does not feel confident betting against Jones.
Do you think the Aspinall-Jones fight happens?
It's got to happen. I was sitting next to Tom the other week at the UFC in London and talking to him about it.
How do you think that plays out if they fight?
I'll be honest, Tom's a friend. I love Tom. He's one of the coolest dudes in the whole of MMA. Even though Jones is getting old, I just can't pick against John Jones. The one thing I do think John Jones has got the best in the world and the best ever is his fight IQ. He has a perfect game plan to beat that person. As much as I love Tom and I want Tom to win, I couldn't pick against John Jones. It's just something I couldn't do.
Kamaru Usman said he sees Tom Aspinall as the most dangerous heavyweight and the toughest test for John Jones. He warned, though, that Jones should make sure his financial terms are locked in before taking such a risky fight. Usman stressed the need to be smart and careful, especially with so much on the line.
I do think Tom Aspinall is the most dangerous heavyweight right now. 100% the biggest threat to pry that belt away from John Jones. But John has got to get that back.
Israel Adesanya pointed out that Jones and Aspinall are very close in size, with Tom being a little taller and more solid. He said Tom's speed could be a real problem, but added that Jones's grappling skills might give him the edge. Adesanya called the matchup exciting and said no one can truly know the outcome until they fight. He believes this is a clash that fans deserve to witness.
But he's the same height as me, if not an inch taller, but thick. Yeah. And I was like, you're a lot thicker than I would expect. Yeah. And the speed, that's the thing that I'm like, okay, that's the danger. But again, grappling, he's a black belt, but John is, it's different.
Coach Eric Nixick gave his thoughts on how a fight between John Jones and Tom Aspinall might play out. He mentioned that Aspinall's fast hands are a big advantage, but said Jones is excellent at controlling distance and breaking his opponent's rhythm. Nixick recalled how Jones once stopped Miocic's jab by changing stances during the fight. He shared that he and Aspinall have talked about ways to stop Jones's attacks from mid-range, focusing on staying aggressive and applying pressure. According to Nixick, for Aspinall to win, he must take control early and not let Jones get comfortable.
What advantages do you see that he has over John Bones Jones?
I think hand speed. But what John does very well, and what we saw in the Stipe fight, is John will occupy your hands. So Stipe's one of his best weapons was always his jab. So you saw John switch to southpaw, lead hand occupy, which left Stipe with one punch, which was cross. So he was timing the cross to pull off and then was adding on. So I think when you break that fight down, I actually talked to Tom on Monday. We were kind of going back and forth a little bit on some of the game planning things. You can't be in that B range and just kind of get snake charmed by John. Let him grab your hands, let him dictate the pace, let him dictate the rhythm. You have to be hyper aggressive in those positions, and I think that's what Tom would have to do in that fight.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about their fight? Share your thoughts in the comment section, and also make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also check out our other videos on the screen right now.